Hello, this is Budgets with Grace, and I have some major budget updates to give you all. So, first, I'm going to note that I'm looking at the joint budget here, and you might know if you're familiar with my videos that I usually have a category under not a credit card payment, i.e., our goals, and wedding is missing from here, and it's because I started to get a lot more concrete numbers, and I found it to be time to break everything out into categories. So you can see a new category group right here called Big Day, and if that opens up, there's how many? Probably like, I'm gonna guess close to 31 categories. So first off is wedding, and this is the original category. I had been just logging all my transactions into this one category and calling it all wedding. Well, I went ahead and backlog updated these. So if I go into reports and I look at the totals here, you can see I'm looking at January to October, so this whole year. We have Big Day as its own group, and it's the fourth largest one. So I like to click on that and see the breakdown so far. The dress so far has been the biggest expense, but that is also, I think, one of the only things we've paid like 100%. Florist, we also paid 100%, so it's the second highest. And then photography, we just paid for a deposit and kind of the expenses that came along with our engagement photo shoot. So this will bump up quickly once we have to pay that. The venue, this is also just a deposit. We have a planner. This is also just a deposit. It's going to be twice this much. Well, not exactly twice as much. I also paid for like software for wedding planning, rather not software so much as just a course. So I've used that category. Premarital, this is going to go up as well. Each session so far has been about 100, and I hope to do 8 total, so that'll go up. Our website, hopefully this is done and paid for. I think it's an annual subscription, so I might have to pay for it again, but maybe I'll try to go on a monthly plan from there. Engagement party, we did super low key. This is just like the cost of cake and parking and the beer and the food we ate. Maids and men, so far this is sending little gifts to my bridesmaids, and we will also have more expenses under that for gifts. Groom's look, we already bought Forrest tie and shirt just to try it on and make sure we're all good. So that's probably also going to need tailoring, plus pants and shoes. Oh man, it even goes into all other categories. Great. So this one would be our DJ, and we just had drinks with him so far. We haven't put anything down, but I wanted to include that because it is kind of part of the cost of like meeting him and booking him and all that stuff. And then same thing with our officiant. So we bought him drinks at a local restaurant. And I love switching over to trends. And I'm going to zoom in on Big Day again. And as you can see, it was pretty quiet for several months in a row, and then a huge spike in September, and everything is just coming together so quickly. So these are my reports so far on the spending I've already done for the wedding. And if we go back to my budget, we can dig into these 31 categories. I'm going to zoom in even more. Oh yeah, we're getting zoomed. First, the way I have this organized, I have active things that I need to save for or decide on up top here. And then I have a whole category here that's just dashed lines. And this is just to keep myself organized. There's no goal on it. There's no money in there. It's just empty. Under this dashed line is everything that we have booked and we are prepared to pay. So we have the venue. This is the remainder after that deposit, so a total of $3,100. I also have the venue security deposit. This transaction hopefully will not go through it all and we can use all of this on our honeymoon, but we'll see. Got to factor that in. I also included banquet license because that is a requirement of the venue that we have that to serve alcohol. Luckily, it's only $10. Photography, I mentioned there was a deposit, so this is the remaining amount for a total of $3,000 for photography, and that included our engagement shoot, which we definitely got a bang for our buck on. We hauled our photographer out of town, like 45-minute drive, plus a 30-minute ferry ride, and we went to like 3 different locations on Orcas Island and the San Juan Islands, and the results are incredible. So while this is a big overall cost, I feel like we really are getting a lot out of it, and we're gonna have great photos. Next, the planner. This is the other half of what we owe her. Marriage license, only $62, but again, just one of those things you got to get in order. I added this in this order because we came across it when we were dealing with our officiant. I just called this one bridal looks. So far, this has included my dress and my So far, this has included my dress and my shoes, and I know there's going to be alterations. I'm definitely going to want some accessories, so hopefully it'll be close to $700. Who knows? Like I mentioned, premarital, we've already been to 2 sessions, so hopefully we'll only go for 4 more sessions, and we don't really have any problems that we're working on. We're mostly just doing this to be proactive, so we will see how that goes. Next is meal catering. This, I think, is going to be a low estimate depending on how many people RSVP, but this is kind of hopeful. We're going to have barbecue. It's going to be delicious. Dessert catering, I ordered 140 fucking donuts. And it's just, this is when I start to feel overwhelmed. It's like a lot. Invitation costs, this is very low because I'm not sending every guest a printed invitation. I am a graphic designer by trade, so I love print design, and I am so excited to make my own invitations. So first of all, it'll be cheaper because I'm designing and printing, and I kind of know some tricks of the trade. And second, I'm asking my guests to specify if they would like a printed invitation on my website. So that's kind of my move to reduce costs there. And then I added even the cost of like the getaway car, but I called it a getaway Uber because I don't think it's necessarily important to Forrest or I to have a grand exit or like a vintage car that we get away in. But this is also subject to change. And then below this, I just listed everything. This is partially for categories and partially like to let me know what's done. Engagement parties, totally done. Officiant, it's a family friend, so he's being paid in family favors. Florist, paid for. I think there's going to be more because I'm like, oh, what about all these other flowers we could have? And I might need more in terms of like rentals, like for table decor. So we shall see. Groom's look, probably going to need some alterations, like I said, and shoes. And website, yeah, I'm realizing as I'm going through these and talking about these that pretty much all these other than engagement party and officiant are going to end up costing money. Oh man, it's a lot. So back to the top, back to above this dotted line, these are things that are not figured out and definitely not paid for. So DJ, I think like this is mostly figured out. We haven't like given him a final confirmation, but we are going to owe a $300 deposit, which will go towards a total of $1,500, which, man, I thought it was going to be like $600 because my father-in-law told me that's how much DJs were. But like the thing is, like weddings are just so much more work. It always costs more for a wedding. Plus maybe his rates went up. Prenup, I want a prenup because it seems prudent, and that we're going to be using an online service called Hello Prenup. So I am so excited to get into that and give everybody a full report. Spelling history tour, and like the guest experience is so important to me. So I wanted to offer people this tour so they could learn a little bit about our town's history. We're going to do the gore and lore tour. So we're going to talk about true crime in town, and I think it'll be really fun. So it's like kind of a secondary like weekend event activity. Maids and men, I added this up here because we definitely need to get the guys' suspenders. And I think there will be even more than that cost, but so far that's what I'm factoring in. Rings, we looked on Etsy, we found the rings we like, so we just have to go get sized, and then we're ready to order those if there was money in this category. So things might move around just so I can like cover that and pay for it and be done with it, and then have like the other categories, their targets would increase if I did that. Beverages and ice, I was doing the math, and I guess you need like a drink every hour for every guest. So if you have 100 guests and you have a 6-hour wedding, that is 600 alcoholic beverages. And there's all these calculators online. They tell you how much beer you need, how much wine you need, how much liquor you need. So like we're not going to have liquor, so we need more beer and wine, and gotta have extra, and you gotta know how much red, white, and sparkling. This is when I started to be like, oh my god, this is so much. So, that's in the works. Can you tell I'm losing my mind? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Wedding night accommodations, we are definitely going to want to stay in a hotel because it would be kind of depressing, honestly, to come back to our house. And there's a couple fancy ones in town that would be really fun for us to stay in and like have brunch and, you know, be married. Bartenders, bar back servers, definitely going to need those. Decor, this would be table decor as well as signage. I think this is going to have to go higher too, because I remembered like the table decor in this estimate. Hopefully I can do the signage for this amount too. And then the things that I don't have estimates for yet are a tarot reader, lawn games, and a videographer is the really big one that so if you look at this whole event so far, I've already spent $6,400. And then if you go back to the budget and you look at how much money there is still, there's like $10,425. So that is like $1,825. And I did this on paper because there's actually no easy way to do this in YNAB. If you select everything that has an active target on it, it will tell you underfunded for the month, which this is crazy. $500 a month until the wedding is what I need to save already, and this isn't everything. But if you add it all for the total of everything, which is like 500 times, like, I don't know, 10, but I don't know. They're all on different schedules. Basically, I did it on paper, and it's like $5,000. So this is a 20 to 25K wedding that I am throwing, and that is crazy. That's crazy. That is my budget update. I don't have any other words. I was feeling like, I don't want to say like bad for being like a little stressed out, but I was a little like, oh, this is such a first world problem. I hate to say problem either. Like, I know I can make this happen. I just had no idea it would be this freaking expensive. But I mean, I guess this is how it happens. Like they say the average wedding is $30,000, so it's a lot to take in. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like supporting me, you can follow me on TikTok, you can buy me a coffee, and of course, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I'll catch you next time. Bye!